ISKCON Coventry presents the Sunday devotional broadcast. Welcome and be inspired. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Bolo Varsane Wali ki jai, jai jai. Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. So welcome viewers. This program is in preparation of Radha Astami, which is happening on Wednesday, 26th of August. And we're really, really excited. And today, we're going to hear a class about the appearance of Radha Rani. And everybody knows about Krishna, and many think they know about Radha Rani. But, you'll be surprised. There are so many hidden facts about Radha Rani which are revealed, by, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his disciples, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. And we are in the Gaudiya Vaishnava line, and there's many other sampradaya, like Kumar Sampradaya, they glorify Radharani as well. But we'll tell you later on who actually made Radharani popular again in recent times. So we will do that. And before we do that, we owe gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. Without Srila Prabhupada, we wouldn't have enjoyed this spirituality, this close link with Krishna, this relationship with Radharani and us Sakhis and all the temples and everything around the world. And with the lockdown situation we are communicating with everyone around the world through this lovely internet facilities. And so we like to, do our prayers as a Guru Puja to Srila Prabhupada. So please, everyone, let's all, from our hearts, sing the Guru Pranam. Jai Ho. We go over to Patna Pavan in Birmingham.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj. Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhavati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhavati Sadma. Bangamo Savadana Mate. Bangamo Savadana Mate. Bangamo Savadana Mate. Bangamo Savadana Mate. Jahara Prasade Bhai Baba Toriya Jai. Jahara Prasade Bhai Baba Toriya Jai. Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite. Krishna Prapti Hoya. Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite. Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite. Guru mukha padma vakhya chitete koribo akhya padma vakhya
chitete koriya akhya
arana koriho mane asha
arana kariya mane asha
arana koriho mane asha
arana kariya mane asha
Shri Guru Charane Rathi Aise Uttama Gati
Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati
Ye Prasad Pure Sarvasha
Ye Prasad Pure Sarvasha
Ye Prasad Pure Sarvasha
Ye Prasad Pure Sarvasha
Chakudana Dilo Jai Janme Janme Prabhu Jai
Chakudana Dilo Jai Janma Janma Prabhu Se
Chakudana Dilo Jai Janme Janme Prabhu Jai
Chakudana Dilo Jai Janma Janma Prabhu Se
Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito Prema Bhakti Aha Hoite Ave Jave Na Sajate Vidhe Gai Jahara Charito Vidhe Gai Jahara Charito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Divana Lokanath Lokera Divana Aha Prabhu Guru Doya Mure Pada Chaya Aha Prabhu Guru Doya Mure Pada Chaya Ibega Sagusukri Bhuvana Ibega Sagusukri Bhuvana Doi Pada Lela Sharana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Gurudev Patita Pavana Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Gurudev 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 Neta Gaura Hari Bol Neta Gaura Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur. Jai Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Ho. That was wonderful, real enthusiasm. And I could hear, the children leading really nicely and Mridanga playing. And Srila Prabhupada always taught us how to honor the spiritual master before we do anything else. And, we are having wonderful, Radha Astami very soon. And we're preparing. So I would wanted to invite Vidhu Prabhu and ask him, what are we doing? What sort of preparations are we doing this Wednesday? They're going to be simpler than Janmashtami, but with equal vigor, I'm assuming. Vidhu Prabhu.
Hari Bol, yes, thank you, Haridas. Yes, Radha Astami always is a sweeter festival. It follows Janmashtami, which is usually full of vigor and energy and loads of input from all the devotees and the public. But because of the lockdown, then every festival we do is curtailed. Radha Astami traditionally has been, rather than masses turning up, those who are real Vaishnavas, they turn up. And so what we're trying to do, doing our best in these circumstances, that Radha Rani fasting will finish at noon, not midnight.
Jehu.
My mother is very kind. She says, "No better. You just have a don't do too much tapasya on that day."
It's 12 o'clock, but not at midnight, but 12 o'clock during the day.
Noon, yeah. There will be a personal abhishek in the morning, not a public one. But I think we have sent a message out saying, donations received, those people's names will be honored during the abhishek as the items are poured on the lordships. Pranava and his team will be doing some decoration. And after the abhishek, there will be the dressing. There'll be, we're aiming for noon darshan at noon. And after that, there'll be an offering. Not just the offering cooked at the temple, but like Janmashtami, it'll be offering from all the devotees' houses around who are tuning in. If they can zoom in, and we'll send the link later on, their offering to the lordships. And that will be included with the items cooked at the temple. So all those offerings will be made to the lordships.
So they should really take it seriously, as if they are in the temple kitchen.
Absolutely.
All the standards. Clean, bathed, and everything. Yeah, shouldn't really compromise that. Yeah.
No compromise. It should be as if they were at the temple. As if.
Oh, very good.
Some people may question this. How will the Lord accept this? There's a lovely story in Jagannath Puri, where there is the normal offering goes right in front of big hole right in front of the lordships. That's where the normal offering goes. But I believe once a day at least, there's a hole right at the back near Garud's back. Right at the back. And an offering made there once a day.
At noontime.
Yeah, and someone was questioning, how is this possible, making an offering right at the back, closed doors, lordships are at the other end. How is this possible? So just lordships Leela to prove them wrong. One day, you can correct me. I think the hands extended.
No. Either that or they turn into Ganpatiji and the trunk went all the way at the back and then they
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
That was real. That's a real thing which happened and people saw. So
anyway, the facility we're using is called Zoom. So the Lord will zoom into people's home and the Prasad will zoom into the Lordship's altar. So, we did that at Janmashtami, and I tell you, there was real excitement.
It went down very well.
Because the Lordship will be seen in the altar on their iPhone or iPad or something, so they'll be there. So it's like, even if you're not initiated, but you're following the regulated principles, you can make your preparations and offer to the Lordship. And I think it's really exciting for those who couldn't have done it otherwise, So I think this COVID-19 has worked to our advantage that way. Excellent. And, the children are also, I've written a couple of, one play and about 3 songs. So they are busy doing rehearsals. And again, we can't see them face to face. So we are using the Zoom thing. So how did you find the Janamastami plays and all that we did? I mean, did you find it any less than normal?
I can't forget Professor Know-It-All. I cannot forget him. It's so well done. all the characters were wonderfully done. I mean, they really give their all in that comical drama.
Yeah. But the message comes through, really, really nice. And so we got Bibu Prabhu who's going to leave on the 2nd of September, although we are trying to maybe extend his stay. So this is sad, really. We couldn't hear him that often. He's a lovely singer, and he's going to go, and we'll miss him very much. But they're ready now to do Kirtan at the temple. I believe we've got the new camera, and every week they have to go and adjust and all that, because the internet isn't been installed properly yet. But Virgin are doing something next week. So I think we'd love to hear Bibu. I don't know what he's going to sing. I hope he's glorifying Radha Rani. Whatever he sings is absolutely wonderful. He's a lovely Vaishnav. And one last word on Bibu Prabhu. I mean, has he got something in mind? Is he changing? He changed ashram, but I think he's getting married. You think?
That is his aim, because he changed the color of his dress a couple of years ago. But in between, I'm not sure what happened. But it's in the hand of his parents also. But his desire is definitely to become a grihastha.
Right, that's okay. So he's got a lot of challenges to face. So now what we'll do is, here's a challenge. He's going to do Kirtan for all of us, and let's welcome him, and we'll go over to the temple.
Yeah.
Radha Krishna Jugala Kishore Radha Krishna Prano Jugala Kishore Radha Krishna Prano Jugala Krishna Prana Jivane marane gopi har nahi mo Jivane marane gopi har nahi Jivane marane goti har nahi mo Jivane marane goti har nahi mo Kalindira pule keli kadambero bana Kalindira pule keli kadambero bana Kalindira pule keli kadambero bana Ratana Vedirayu pa Vasavadula রতন বেদিরায় বসাব শ্যাম গৌরে অঙ্গে দিব চন্দনের গন্ধা চন্দনের শ্যাম গৌরে অঙ্গে দিব চন্দনের গন্ধা চন্দনের চামর ঢোলাব কবে হেরিব মুখ চন্দ্র চামর ঢোলাব কবে হেরিব মুখ চন্দ্র চামর ঢোলাব কবে হেরিব মুখ চন্দ্র চামর ঢোলাব কবে হেরিব মুখ মালতীর মালা দিব দোহার গলে গাথিয়া মালতীর মালা দিব দোহার গলে গাথিয়া মালতীর মালা দিব দোহার গলে মালতীর মালা দিব দোহার গলে ধরে তুলিয়া দিব কর্পূর তাম্বুরে ধরে তুলিয়া দিব কর্পূর তাম্বুরে তুলিয়া দিব কর্পূর তাম্বুরে অধরে তুলিয়া দিব কর্পূর তাম্বুরে শাখায়াদি যত সখে বৃন্দ ললিতা শাখায়াদি যত সখী বৃন্দ ললিতা শাখায়াদি যত সখে বৃন্দ ললিতা শাখায়াদি যত সখী বৃন্দ আজ্ঞায় করিব সেবা চরণারবিন্দ আজ্ঞায় করিব সেবা চরণারবিন্দ আজ্ঞায় করিব সেবা চরণারবিন্দ আজ্ঞায় করিব সেবা চরণারবিন্দ Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasaranoda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasaranoda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasaranoda Chaitanya Prabhu Dasaranoda Sevaya Vilasa Kare Narottama Das Sevaya Vilasa Kare Narottama Das দয়া করো দয়ালো জগত সংসারে তোমারে না কে দয়ালো জগত সংসারে তোমা বিনা কে দয়ালো জগত সংসারে তোমা বিনা কে দয়ালো জগত সংসারে পতিত পাবন হেতু অবয় অবতার 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 পতিত প্রভু না পাইবে সমপতিত প্রভু না পাইবে সমপতিত প্রভু না পাইবে সমপতিত প্রভু না পাইবে আহা প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ প্রেমানন্দ সুখী 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 কৃপা বল কর কর আমি বড় দুঃখী কৃপা বল কর আমি বড় দুঃখী কৃপা বল কর কর আমি বড় দুঃখী কৃপা বল কর কর আমি বড় দুঃখী দয়া করো সীতাপতে অদ্বৈত গোসাই 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 তব কৃপা কনরিতা তব কৃপা রে পারে কনরিতা তব কৃপা রে পারে
Radhe Radhe. That's really, really beautiful and wonderful. We're able to see Vibhu Prabhu before he goes to Bharat, unless we get the extension so he stays on. It's wonderful. Now, I'm really excited about the class we're going to hear today from Gurusevak. And before Janmashtami, I gave a wonderful class about the Janama of Sri Krishna in two places, in Mathura and then in Gokul. So now today I'm really excited to hear, because he always digs in deep, does his research, and he has the ownership. He owns the message. And you know what? Such speakers, whatever they read, then they want to adopt it in their life. And I like such classes where it gives directions. It gives the secrets behind the events. And that makes you excited and more committed. So I would like to know more about Radha Rani. We've all been to Varsana, we've been to Raval, and we've seen the mood there. It's not imagined event. It's real event. I was there at the Raval Radha Astami day. Premanji was with me and Rajaram. And the people who get there, you can see the love they have for Radha Rani. It's very, very real. And you don't have to be educated, to say Radhe Radhe. In Vrindavan, whoever goes, the rickshawalas, they all say Radhe Radhe, with heart, with feeling. And it's amazing. So we will be doing that. But before we do that, we'd like to hear Jai Radha Madhav from Akimata. She's from Bengal, and I love her accent and the way she sings. The Bengali singing is so, so real. So over to you, and let's enjoy your Radha Madhav, and then immediately after that will be class when you finish. Thank you very much. Hari Bol. Radhe Radhe.
Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jai Girivaradhari, Jai Girivaradhari, Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jai Girivaradhari, Jai Girivaradhari. Jashodanandana Brajjanarandana, Jashodanandana Brajjanarandana, Jashodanandana Brajjanarandana, Jashodanandana Brajjanarandana, Jamuna Tira Padachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
So Hari Bol, just do the invocation for the class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangam dangayate girim yad kripatamaham vande paramananda madhava. So, hey all everyone, welcome to the Sunday program before Radha Astami. Radha Astami is a very special festival, especially for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So today in the class, we're going to basically talk about why we actually worship Srimati Radha Rani and why she is so important. So the first thing to look at is we have to understand Vedic Dharma and Krishna consciousness. So at the start, thousands of years ago, firstly, there was only Vedic Dharma, it's called. And about 90% of that is actually Karmakand. So Karmakand is basically doing austerities, doing yajnas for elevation to the heavenly planets. Now, elevation to the heavenly planets seems a lot better than what's happening on the planet Earth, especially now. If someone was to say, would you like to go to the heavenly planets now? A lot of people will probably say, yeah, because they don't have COVID. And it's actually the standard of living is significantly better than here. But the problem there is there's still repeated birth and death. They still have born there, they still die. And when you leave the heavenly planet after the results of your pious activities are diminished, you end up having to come here to the planet Earth. So after that came Darshanik Dharma. Now this was based on the Upanishads. And if Vedic Dharma was Karmakand, this was Jnanakand. So this was based on knowledge. And after that came Puranic Dharma. So this is where the teachings of the Puranas came. And so the special thing about the teaching of the Puranas was that it taught us that you should do bhakti to the Lord, the Lordships. You actually do devotional service because the teachings of the Puranas, there's so many leelas of the Lord, leelas of the Lord's devotees. So that bhakti, that aspect of doing devotional service to the Lord was introduced. But there was two aspects to that. There was sakam bhakti, so the bhakti that you do something to get something from the Lord. So it's like a relationship where I'll do something for you, my Lord, you do something for me. Which is obviously not very nice for the Lord. It's more like a business relationship, you could call it. My Guru Maharaj always used to say, he goes, people will come to the temple, put £1 in the donation box and say, Lord, please make me a millionaire. My Guru Maharaj used to say, the Lord's not giving such a great exchange rate or interest rate that for £1 is going to give you a million. But that's what we think. We think, Lord, please, I'll do this small amount for you. Please do something for me. So there's the other kind which is introduced in the Puranas called Nishkam Bhakti. Now this is that whether you give me anything or whether you don't give me anything, I'm still going to worship you. And that's obviously superior. So that's like unconditional. Lord, if you give me something, fine. If you don't give me something, that's fine. But I'm going to worship you. So this is Nishkam Bhakti. So after that came Bhagavat Dharma. Now Bhagavat Dharma, this surpasses all kinds of Dharma because it's based on Prema Bhakti. Now this is Radha Rani's Dharma, actually, this Prema Bhakti is. And you might think, okay, what is the special thing about this Prema Bhakti? So it's not Sakam Bhakti where, Lord, I'll do something for you, you do something for me. And it's not Nishkam Bhakti saying, well, if you do something for me or you don't do anything, I'm just going to worship you. This Prema Bhakti is, Lord, you sit here, I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to give you something. And that is prema bhakti. You're actually giving something to the Lord. You're not thinking about the Lord giving you anything or that, but you're saying, Lord, I'm going to give you something. That's Radha Rani's dharma. And there's a wonderful shloka which says, Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajesha Tanayas Tadadama Vrindavanam Ramya Kadachit Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramana Mamalam Prema Pamartho Maham Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tadaro Na Para. And the translation to that is, it's the conclusive opinion of Lord Chaitanya that the most worshipable form of the Lord is that of Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Vrindavan Dham is the topmost worshipable abode, and the highest and most pleasing type of worship of Krishna is done by the Vraja Gopis. This is why Srimati Radha Rani is emphasized so much, because the topmost worship is done by the Vraja Gopis. And it's saying Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless authority on everything, and that Krishna Prem is the highest goal of life. So this is really showing why the Vraja Gopis are the most important. And this is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, he's saying this is the conclusive opinion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it says here, the opinion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which form of the Lord is to be worshipped. And we actually spoke about this, and I was reading before from Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srila Prabhupada actually mentioned that when the devotees pray for protection from the Lord, it's actually Lord Vishnu that comes and protects. Krishna, you may have heard many times great sadhus, very elevated sadhus saying, I don't disturb Lord Krishna, saying, please do this for me, do that for me, please protect me. And that Krishna that they're referring to is actually Krishna of Vrindavan. The Lord that comes to protect is actually Vasudeva Krishna. He's a four-handed form of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada says in Srimad Bhagavatam that Vasudeva Krishna, Shri Vishnu, comes and protects. This is why when Maharaj Parikshit was in the womb and Uttara came and was begging him, please Lord, save me, Lord Krishna was standing outside. And as he was standing outside, inside the womb, Parikshit Maharaj saw four-armed form Lord Vishnu appear, and he actually protected him. So this Lord Vishnu is actually protecting us everywhere. And if you think about it, in this material world, it's such a dangerous place. And the Lord has personally come as Paramatma in your heart to be there with you alongside, but also to protect you. And even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, depend on him, that Paramatma, because that Lord Vishnu is there protecting you. So it's said that the different portions of Krishna is Vasudeva, a four-handed form, and he's a portion of Krishna, Krishna in Dvarka, and he is called Purna, complete. And it said Krishna in Mathura is even more complete, Purnatara. And Krishna in Vrajabhumi is the most complete, Purnatama. So he's the superlative degree. And it's said that the Krishna, it says, Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajesha Tanaya, Kishora Krishna. That form, Krishna is 10 to 12 years old. So this is the Kishore form of Lord Krishna, which is to be worshipped. So this is where different levels, and it may seem a little bit esoteric, but it's very important to get into understanding Krishna. This is what it means, where it says you have to realize the Lord. It's not just I understand, oh, yeah, Krishna is Supreme Lord. Yeah, I do my little arati worship. If you're not interested in the details of the Lord, this is why the Lord actually comes. And it's said that the Lord has unmanifest and manifest pastimes. So you may have heard this saying, are you thinking, well, hold on, if the Lord's doing his pastimes everywhere, aren't all of them manifest? The unmanifest pastimes are actually always happening in the spiritual world. And the manifest ones happen here in the material world, so that we can actually see them, see the Lord's Leelas and meditate on them. So that takes us to a nice point. So what I'll do is, I'll speak about the appearance of Srimati Radha Rani in Golok Vrindavan first. So I will talk about Radha Astami here, but in Golok Vrindavan first. So Lord Krishna is actually complete. He is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Srimati Radha Rani is actually one of his Shaktis. So Lord Krishna has 3 Shaktis, Haladini, Sambit, and Sandini. And these form the Lord's Swarupya Shaktis. That's what they're determined as. Now, the Shaktis exist in 2 different phases, one inside Krishna and one manifest outside. So the manifestation of Haladini Shakti is actually Srimati Radha Rani. So Krishna, typically, Srila Prabhupada says this as well, for someone to enjoy, they can't enjoy by themselves. So enjoyment requires 2. So imagine if you're sitting there and you want to have a conversation. You can't have a conversation with yourself. If you do, people probably think you're crazy. Typically, it takes 2 people to enjoy. So when the Lord decided, originally it was just Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. And he was actually sitting in the Rasa Mandal. And he was sitting there and he said, Lord Krishna is not like us. He doesn't require something external to give him enjoyment. With us, we need to see, okay, what's this sandwich? I'll eat that or I'll become very happy. Or this person there, I'll associate with, I'll become very happy. Krishna doesn't require that because from inside him, Haladini Shakti is always making him happy. He's Atma now. But even in the spiritual world, and originally Krishna was sitting in Rasmandal and he was thinking, I feel like enjoying myself with others. And at that point, the Haladini Shakti manifested outside Krishna as Srimati Radha Rani. And he said, as soon as Srimati Radha Rani appeared, she immediately ran and began picking flowers to offer to the lotus feet of Krishna. And this is actually one of the origins of the name of Radharani. Why do you think Radharani is called Radha? So the Ra refers to Rasamandal and Da refers to Davati, which means to run. Because when Radharani ran, as soon as she appeared, she ran to gather flowers. So Radha, Ra for Rasamandal, Da from Davati, to run. So Radha. And he said the name of Radharani is so, the Lord is so attracted by it. As soon as anyone even utters Ra, you get the attention of the Lord. Look, Krishna immediately looks. And as soon as you say Da, Krishna comes running towards you. The name of Srimati Radharani is so powerful. So you might ask a question, well, why is it that the people in ISKCON and Gaudiya Vaishnavas seem to focus on Radharani a lot, but in the rest of Bharat, like southern Bharat, sometimes you don't even find Radharani in the temple. It'll just be Krishna standing there by himself. And this is the very special thing about Gaudiya Vaishnavism. It's said that those who worship Lord Vishnu are called Vaishnavas. Those who worship Shri Krishna are called Karshanayas. And those that worship Srimati Radharani are called Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So actually, this whole movement is actually to worship Radharani. Because even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, he came to experience the love of Srimati Radharani. And that is basically the line we are following. So this is where Radharani is so important. But you might ask yourself, well, hold on a second. I've read Srimad Bhagavatam. Radharani is not even mentioned in there. How come this is the case? It's a very good question. And in fact, from the time when Srimad Bhagavatam was actually spoken, up until the time of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimati Radharani and the gopis were not given much prominence. Up until the time of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Madhavendra Puri and others. That's the time when Srimati Radharani and the gopis were seen as the most prominent. So you wonder, why is this? Why is it when Sukadeva Goswami was actually speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, he didn't mention Srimati Radharani? So there's 2 reasons for this. So one of them was because Sukadeva Goswami was actually Srimati Radharani's parrot. And Srimati Radharani was basically his guru, his Swamini. So he didn't want to say the name of Radharani because he would go into ecstasy. And if you would go into ecstasy, Parikshit Maharaj only had 7 days. And the time would go by and Parikshit Maharaj would have been bitten by the Tataksha serpent and die. So he refrained from saying it because otherwise he would go into ecstasy. The second reason is a wonderful reason. I never even heard this before, I've done the research. It's amazing. So he said when Sukadeva Goswami was going through the various chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, as he came to Canto 10, he said the gopis appeared in Sukadeva Goswami's heart, and they said to him, look, we know you're going to expand on Lord Krishna's pastimes with us, but look at the assembly where you're going to speak it. Okay, that's fine. Parikshit Maharaj is there, but all of the saintly sages from around the universe have come. Not just from the earthly planet, demigods even have come. Vashisht Muni has come. He's from like Satyug when Lord Ram was there. Treta, sorry, when Lord Ram was there. So many sadhus were there, and the gopis spoke in Sukadeva Goswami's heart saying, look, we feel embarrassed. You're going to speak our intimate details with Lord Krishna in front of these sadhus. We're going to feel so embarrassed. Please don't do this. And Sukadeva Goswami said, look, I have to say something about your pastimes, because otherwise, how is anyone going to know the topmost ecstasy of loving the Lord? Because the gopis' love is there. And they said, okay, fine. If you're going to do that, at least don't mention any of our names. And it's actually said, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, no gopi's name is mentioned throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. It's only up until the time when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, then you started to hear the names of Srimati Radha Rani, Lalita, Vishaka. And there's only one point in Srimad Bhagavatam where Sukadeva Goswami mentioned not Radharani's name, but Aradhito. This was when it came to the Ras Panchadhyaya. So this is the reason why Srimati Radharani or the gopis aren't mentioned by name in Srimad Bhagavatam at all. And it's something I always used to wonder. When I was young, I used to read Srimad Bhagavatam and read the 10th canto. I'm like, how come Radharani's not in here? Where are the gopis' names? And this is the reason. So it's actually said that Srimati Radharani is non-different from Krishna. There is no difference between Radharani and Krishna. So she is just as much like the Supreme Personality of God. She's called the fountainhead of Godhead. She's just as much the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Lord Krishna is. They're one and the same. So in the spiritual world, however, it's different. The actual atmosphere there is very different. In the spiritual world, Krishna is always there as a 14-year-old boy. And Srimati Radharani is always there as a 14-year-old girl. They celebrate all of the festivals, but there is no Janamastami there. There is no Radha Astami there. Because the Lord is always there. So the Lordship actually has to come here to celebrate those festivals. So even Nandotsa went on for so many days because Nanda Maharaj had a son, because they don't get to celebrate it in the spiritual world. So it's actually amazing. So when Janamastami had happened and Lord Krishna was born, and very soon Lord Krishna was running about, and Narad Muni, when he came and took darshan of Lord Krishna as a baby, he was so surprised to see Krishna as a naked little baby running around in Yashoda Mata's garden. And he was shocked, thinking, oh my God, this is my Lord. Because Narad Muni is able to go into the spiritual world and he sees Radha and Krishna there all the time. And to see Lord Krishna as a baby there, he was so ecstatic. And he thought, let me see if Srimati Radha Rani is here. So he went to King Rishabhan and he asked him, do you have any children? And Rishabhanaji said, yes. So he brought Sridham, Radharani's brother. And Narad Muni wasn't so interested and he was about to leave. And he goes, well, hold on, I do have another child, but ever since she's been born, she's never opened her eyes. So they were embarrassed to bring. And so Narad Muni said, no, bring this child. And it was actually Srimati Radha Rani. And he said that they thought that if they gave Srimati Radha Rani to Narad Muni may perform some miracle and Srimati Radha Rani might open her eyes. So as soon as they gave Srimati Radha Rani to Narad Muni, and Narad put Srimati Radha Rani on his lap, immediately he saw a vision in front of him. And he saw Srimati Radha Rani sitting on a gem-studded throne underneath a wish-fulfilling tree. And all the Sakhis were around her, and a beautiful glow was emanating from her. And Narad Muni was so overwhelmed by this, he could see it, but nobody else could. And it said he closed his eyes because he couldn't contain the emotions he was feeling. And he was just praying to the Lord, praying to Srimati Radha Rani. And then when he got composed himself and he opened his eyes, Narad Muni handed Srimati Radha Rani back to Vrishabhanji and said, "You're most fortunate." He said, "Your daughter, who is the dearest to Lord Hari, will fill all of Gokul with bliss, and your glory will be spread far and wide." And Vrishabhanji said, "Okay, that's nice, but I mean, when will her eyes open?" He said, "Don't worry." He goes, "When Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata come to visit, everything will be fine." And so they thought, okay, let's see what happens. So they had a festival a few months later. And when the festival there, they brought baby Krishna there. And when Rishabhanji and Kirtida were talking with Nanda and Yashoda, Krishna climbed out of where they placed him and started crawling towards Srimati Radha Rani. And it said that when Krishna originally said the idea in Golok Vrindavan to go down to the material world, Srimati Radha Rani said, "I don't want to go. I don't want to go there." And then she agreed on one condition, that she would only ever look at Sri Krishna. So she only wanted to look at Sri Krishna first, so she had her eyes closed. And when Krishna crawled up to the cot, at Radharani's cot, and peeked over, he said, "Radhe." And Radharani heard Krishna's voice, and that's the first time she opened her eyes. So the first person that she saw was Lord Krishna. And it's actually said that, do you know why Srimati Radha Rani's eyes are actually blue? So there's a deity in Hungary of Srimati Radha Rani who has blue eyes. And do you know why she has blue eyes? Because Krishna's colors always reflected in her eyes. That's why she has blue eyes. So it's beautiful. So you might think, well, how is it that Vrishabhanji and Kirtida actually had Srimati Radharani? And that's a wonderful, wonderful katha. So you may know that the Himalayas actually had a daughter, Parvati, and Parvati was married to Lord Shiva. And this amazing katha, a lot of you may have heard before. And so the Himalayas actually became very famous across the universe because their daughter Parvati had married Lord Shiva. And there was a Mount Vindhya who was related to the king of the Himalayas, and he was a rival. And he thought, look, I want to have, he goes, if the king of the Himalayas has had a daughter that married Lord Shiva, I want to have a daughter that married to someone who could even defeat Lord Shiva. And he said that, why was this rivalry there? And he said that once Mount Vindhya had grown taller and taller and taller to even challenge Mount Meru, which is very, very tall. And once Agastya Muni was traveling to visit Mount Vindhya, and it become a problem university because Mount Vindhya was going bigger and bigger and bigger. So they said, look, Agastya Muni, do something. So Agastya Muni went to visit, and as he was visiting, when a sadhu comes, what's the usual thing you do? You pay your obeisances. So Mount Vindhya, when he saw Agastya Muni, paid his obeisances, so it became smaller and smaller and paid his obeisances. And Agastya Muni said, that's very nice. He goes, just wait here for me and don't finish bowing down until I come back. And Agastya Muni left and never came back. So Mount Vindhya was humbled like that because of Agastya Muni's thing not to actually raise up from doing his Dandavat. The mountain ended up staying small and he was humbled. And he thought, I need to do something now, which basically, because when you have rivals, you always want to outdo them. So he said, I want to have a daughter that should actually even have a son-in-law who could defeat Lord Shiva. So it said that Vrishabhanji and Chandrabhanji, the two brothers, they had, the Dharmapatni were pregnant with Srimati Radharani and Chandravali. And Yogamaya actually transferred them to the womb of Vindhya, the mountain's wife. So just like Balaramji was transferred from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, this was actually done. And they said that this is actually from Lalita Madhav. It's a wonderful Gaudiya Vaishnava book. And it said that they were actually transferred to the womb. And it said that when, Lord Krishna was born, very soon afterwards, Srimati Radha Rani was born, within a few weeks. And it said that how did Radharani and Chandravali get from the Himalayan mountains to actually Vrindavan? And it said that Putana was actually going around trying to find small children that had been born recently. And she was going there and simply killing them. But when she found Srimati Radharani and Chandravali, she took them as well as 5 other girls that were born there as well. I'd never heard this bit before. There were 5 other girls there that were born. And there's a conversation in Lalit Madhav between Purnamashi, who's a Yogamaya, and Gargi, which is another person in there. And they were discussing, saying, how come Putana didn't kill these girls when she actually brought them? It's because Kans had actually told her that you must go, and any boy that you find that's young, just kill them. But any girl that you find, you have to bring them to me. Because when Yogamaya, Lord Krishna's sister, was actually taken to Mathura and Kans tried to kill her and she slipped out and became Durga Devi, she actually said to Kans that this same person who in your previous birth had severed your head with a chakra in battle, because remember, Kans was Kalnemi and Krishna killed him, because the same person who the sages know as he whose lotus feet are worshipped by the demigods, the same person who pleases his loving devotees by showering them with oceans of the nectar of bliss, and the same person who is the root of the universe has now appeared. But as she said after that, she said, today or the day after, 8 sublimely sweet Shaktis will appear on this earth, 2 sisters who are like great palaces of beautiful transcendental qualities will also appear. And when he defeats Krishna, when he defeats Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, the King of Kings, will accept the hand of both girls in marriage. So it's saying that this is Srimati Radharani and Chandravali. And it's actually said that Lord Krishna married Rukmini and Satyabhama. Now Rukmini is actually Chandravali and Satyabhama is Srimati Radharani. And in Lalit Madhav, it actually says that these personalities and gopis in Vrindavan actually become reflected and become the queens of Lord Krishna in Dwarka. So when Putana had taken these girls from the Vindhya Parvat there, Vindhya's chief priest actually chanted a demon-killing mantra at that time. And Putana's heart became struck with fear. And she actually dropped one of the children over the Vidarbha province. And this Vidarbha province is where King Bhishmak was, who's the father of Rukmini. And he found her. And it said that the others, including Srimati Radharani, when Krishna killed Putana, Putana was there, lying there, and it said Purnamashi took Srimati Radharani and 5 other girls that Putana was also holding. And she says it here in this Lalit Madhav. Purnamasi said, she goes, I took Radha, not only Radha, but 5 other girls also. They were 1, Radha's moon-faced friend Lalita, 2, Chandravali's beautiful friend Padma, 3, Bhadra, who acts auspiciously, the auspicious Shabya, and the splendid and cheerful Shama. So there were also 5 other girls. And it said that Purnamashi said, swiftly and secretly, I gave these 5 infant girls to 5 gopis in different parts of Vrindavan. And he gave Srimati Radharani to Yashoda's nurse Mukhara and said, here is your son-in-law Vrishabhanu's daughter. So Purnamashi very expertly is conducting all of Lord Krishna's affairs. So this is how Srimati Radha Rani actually came to go to Rishabhanji. So Srimati Radha Rani is such an important figure in Krishna consciousness. And the reason we have to remember is that we have to all follow in the footsteps of Srimati Radharani. And we do that by following the example of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it's so important to actually read and actually look into the pastimes of the Lord and read Srimad Bhagavatam and other books written by Srila Prabhupada and other books in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. Because it's easy to say I'm a Gaudiya Vaishnava and not even understand the glories of Srimati Radharani or Lord Krishna. And it's said, to finish off with, there's a question from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and the question is asked, is Sri Radha the original spiritual master? And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says, the foremost transcendental pleasure-giving potency, Sri Radha, is the sole guru of all devotees. Not only this, she is even the guru of Sri Krishna, who accepted a position as her disciple and learnt the art of dancing. Pure devotees, Shuddha Bhakts, who are in rasa other than Madhurya Ras or conjugal love, consider Sri Nityananda Prabhu to be the original spiritual master. However, for those rasic devotees who are in Madhurya Ras, the original guru is Sri Radhika herself. So you can see Srimati Radharani is actually the original guru as well. And it's very, very important to see these topics seem very esoteric, but it's very important to understand the importance of Radha Krishna. Radharani isn't just some girl that's standing next to Lord Krishna or just one of the gopis. She's actually our eternal mother. And our Guru Maharaj always used to say, eternal mother Srimati Radharani ki jai. So we should have this wonderful mood towards Srimati Radharani. And it's said in Srimad Bhagavad Gita that Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Devi Prakritim Ashrita, that the pure devotees of the Lord are under the divine shelter of the Devi Prakriti. And that Devi Prakriti is Srimati Radharani. She's the one that's looking after the devotees. So we should always pray to Srimati Radharani for devotion to the Lord, because she is bhakti. So I'll end on that point there. And I would say any questions, but I don't think obviously we can get any questions through YouTube.
I got a question.
Yeah, we got a question.
I got a question. Now, Jagannath Puri, everybody knows as Jagannath Ji. Why, is Hari Bol, everyone. That was a wonderful class. I really loved it. So in Jagannath Puri as well, when we go there, most of the people, when you go first time, they will explain to you that's, Lord Vishnu, that's Brahmaji, and that's Lord Shivji. And they will not really talk a lot about Radharani. And it's through Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, you realize that actually Jagannath Ji is Dwarkadish when he was in Kurukshetra. So, he saw the Brajbasis and, and he later went to Dwarka. He heard the stories. Rohini Mata was telling all the queens. Then again, he went into that kind of mood. So when I go to Jagannath Puri, always thinking it's because of Radharani we got actually Jagannath Ji. So maybe what are your views on that one? Do you agree with that? Or?
Oh, no, definitely it's there. And it's funny, they actually say that when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani on the outside. And Lord Jagannath Ji is Krishna missing Srimati Radharani.
Yes.
So you see sometimes a beautiful picture actually upstairs in the studio of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hugging Lord Jagannath. Yes. And it's beautiful because it's saying that Lord Jagannath Ji standing there thinking, where's my Radharani? Where's my Radharani? And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there in the temple at the back. And they're still separated. There's still that separation there because he's feeling...
He's in Kurukshetra.
Yeah, Kurukshetra, exactly.
You have to stay formal. That's why she said, I love this place Krishna is here, everything is there. But I rather, that he was in Vrindavan by Yamuna playing the flute, and I would like to listen to him.
Yeah,
so
that's a lovely picture.
Yeah, that is. And people have to realize that behind the scenes of these deities, there is actually bhav. And when you get to know that bhav, you realize the relationship isn't about the devotee and God, and can you give me this? Can I have this and protect me? That's all. You actually realize even the Lord is a personality. He likes love as well.
Exactly.
And he has different kind of loves for his mother, for his sakhas, and for the gopis and everything. And it's Gaudiya Vaishnavism which has brought that up. And I very much like that it's not just a faith-based religion or believe in God and that's about it and do everything you like. You actually got to get involved in the philosophy of this. And Rupa Goswami is the main Manjari, Rupa Manjari. And for them to write about Radha Rani, they actually work with Radha in the spiritual world. So it's not imagined or anything like that. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna and Radha Rani's mood. And so whatever they wrote, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inspired them. So it's wonderful. So I think what message could you give to people who heard your class and realize the appearance of Radha Rani on Radha Astami Day? Should they take it seriously and cook for her?
Well, I think, like I said at the start, the Prema Bhakti which Srimati Radha Rani has established is to do things for the Lord. We're always trying to the Lord, please do things for me. They've got a big list of Krishna, do this for me, give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. When it comes to what we're going to do for the Lord, there is no list because we don't want to do anything. And I think this is where practical devotional service is so important. And we are all missing the temple because usually we would go there and everyone would be able to get involved in washing dishes or sweeping or cleaning or something like that. And we all are missing it. But in that separation, there is still things you can do here. On Radha Astami, we are having the ability to be able to offer what we've cooked at home.
And you're a master chef, and
yes.
What would you be cooking?
Well, Radha has been merciful, and it's not a fast on that day, like Adashi style at least.
Yeah,
so at least we can make the normal style opulent offerings for the Lord.
Oh.
And I think this temple is giving everyone a wonderful opportunity to actually offer. And I think it's something very unique that we're doing. And I think I've seen a few temples doing it, and one of them is Mayapur. I think we're one of the ones that are doing it alongside them, where people can actually have the darshan through Zoom and then offer articles. So it's very wonderful what our temple is doing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And then, people do like your singing. And you and I, we are crazy about singing Radhe Radhes. And, it's a Vrindavan mood. And I remember when Bipin Mukherjee came from Loy Bazaar and to Coventry, and then we hosted him, and it happened to be Sunday program. When he went there, goes, Haridasji, I just think I'm in Vrindavan. And it was those Radhe Radhes. So we got a couple of minutes before Aarti. So can you just sing Hamaro then Radha like that and our company? It doesn't matter. We don't need the mridanga and everything. Just say.
No. Hamaro dan Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha.
Hamaro dan Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha.
Hey Hamaro dan Radha Radha Radha.
Hamaro dan Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha.
Hey Hamaro dan Radha 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 Radha.
Hamaro dan Radha 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 Radha.
Hey Hamaro dan Radha 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 Radha.
Hamaro dan Radha 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 Radha.
Vishwanu Dulari Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha.
Vishwanu Dulari Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha.
Hey Hamari Pyari Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha.
Hamari Pyari Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha.
Paramadana Radha 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 Radha.
Paramadana Radha 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 Radha
ये हमारो धन
Radha
राधा
हमारो धन राधा श्री राधा श्री राधा
ये हमारो धन राधा
हमारो धन राधा श्री राधा श्री राधा जय जय श्री राधे श्याम. That was wonderful. I like this spontaneity and glorification of Radha Rani. There'll be more of that on Wednesday. We have dramas, we have kirtans, and we'll have Srila Prabhupada's class on, Radha Rani, and we're going to have really great time. So I encourage everybody on that day, make something special for Radha Rani and do the offering, and please give donations for the festival, and your names will be read, while the Abhishek is going on. And please realize deities know whose names are being read and who's doing service. So this way, they will shower you with a lot of bhakti. And Radha Rani's Sakhis and Manjaris, and there's millions of them. All of them derive the same happiness as Radha Rani gets when she is with the Krishna. It even multiplies more and more. It's a bit like a stone. When you throw in the pond, it makes one ripple, and then the ripples get bigger and bigger as they go away. So Radha Rani is the original ripple, but then the ecstasy actually expands. So the Manjaris even enjoy more than the Sakhis and there's Kinkaris and all of them. So they all enjoy it, and you'll be one of them as well. Please commit to Radha Rani's festival and the temple. Now we'll go over to the temple, and we'll do Arati at homes and also in the temple itself. Thank you very much. Hari Bol. Jai Ho. Hari Bol.
जय सच्चिदानंद निताय श्याम की जय. जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय जय गौर जय गौरा छामे आरती का शोभा. जय गौरा छामे आरती का शोभा. नामी काटा वाने जगा मन Rama Rama Hare 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna ओम श्रीपाद परम साहिकाचार्य अष्टदिवांगे श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम श्रीपाद परम साहिकाचार्य अष्टदिवांगे भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर महाराज की जय। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव जय निताय चांद के जगन्नाथ रघुनाथ सुभद्रा रानी की जय। जय गो प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Pranav, Das Prabhuji and family, especially to Diksha for her great enthusiasm and spark in that Kirtan, Arati Kirtan. Thank you so much. Thank you, wonderful family. Jai, Haribol. So we thank you to our Facebook viewers and our YouTube viewers. A few shout outs to Shweta Shilpi, Meena Narayan, Sudanshu Misha, and Brugnesh, thank you, Prabhu, for joining in. Also, some devotees from Bangalore, India. So Madhulika, Sri Gary Sanatani, and Rajkumar, Ramesh Radia. So thank you all for tuning in to today's Sunday program. So we will switch to now Lord Nrsingadev prayers, protection prayers. There haven't been any special requests this week, but obviously continuing prayers to Brahmandri Devi Dasi and Shraddha Devi Dasi for their continued health and positive recovery, and to all the devotees, anyone suffering from COVID-19 especially, we'd like to pray to Lord Nrsingadev to please give us protection. And we are going over now to Mudra Sita Devi Dasi and Rabi Tej Krishna Das family for singing Nrsingadev prayers. And I see the little new addition there, little Lali. Thank you very much for joining us. Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Gadaine. Prahlada Gadaine. Om Sim Hiranyaka.
Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare.
केशवद्वीता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे।
केशवद्वीता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे।
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव।
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज।
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद।
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव।
जय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौरा हरि बोल
जय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौरा हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। ओम विघ्न विनाश नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, प्रभुपाद की, गुरुदेव की, अंतकोटेश्वर की जय। हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear family. It's lovely to see you all and the children, Gaurang and Jai Krishna and Nandita, is it?
Nandana
Nandana. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see more of you and your family in the following Sunday program. Thank you very much. So we had a message through from our Pujari ji. So a couple of devotees who had passed away recently. So the Nrsimhadev prayers would have been for those devotees as well. Ajit Krishna Prabhu and Jeevan Rishi Prabhu. So thank you, Sachinandan Prabhuji, for mentioning that today. Also, a big hello from Narayan Pandey, who is joining us on Facebook from Nepal. So thank you to all our viewers. Just a reminder to please subscribe to our channel, Krishna of Vrindavan, on YouTube. Please do remember to press the bell icon to be informed and be notified of future events. So we do have Radha Astami coming up on Wednesday. So if any devotees would like to cook any offerings from their home and have them offered to Sri Sri Sachinandanitai Chand on our altar in Islam Coventry via Zoom, you can do so. So please do cook in the morning, as mentioned previously in the program. And I believe the offerings will go on around 12:30 after midday Arati. So once Radha Rani has been received and her appearance is midday, and the main Arati will happen at midday, and then they will offer all the Bhoga items. So we will send a Zoom link out to the devotees who are interested. If you would like to be involved in this Bhoga offering, please do message us, send us an email, a Facebook message, or contact any of the devotees via WhatsApp, and we can arrange that for you and send you a link. So any donations that will be received, the donors' names will actually be named and recited during the morning Abhishek on the festival day. So if you would like to donate to the festival, and there's still decorations and Bhoga offerings that will be going on by the pujaris, and flower decorations and garlands that are being made. So you can see our bank details are being shown on the screen there. Sort code 309233, account number 03027517. So please do support us, and please support the local festival. We'll be very, very much appreciated for that. So the Zoom offerings, as we mentioned before, and there'll also be an evening program at 7 p.m. onwards. So we have a great lineup, action-packed event for you in the evening. So lots of songs and dramas by the children that are performed remotely. And there are 25 qualities of Radha Rani, which will be mentioned. A lovely class by Srila Prabhupada. And there'll be a Varsana tour darshan via YouTube, nice video. Lots of bhajans and kirtans, darshan live coming from the temple. So that's Radha Astami Festival. So do tune into that on YouTube on Wednesday and via Facebook. Also, Chaturmasya sponsored Bhoga offerings are still happening during these 4 months of Chaturmasya. So thank you to all the devotees so far who have booked their Bhoga offerings at the temple. So please do send us an email or via the booking form online on our website, www.krishnaofvrindavan.com. And please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and join us here every Sunday. But we'll see you on Wednesday for the big Radha Astami Festival. Thank you so much. Radhe Radhe. Hare Krishna.